Chapter 1. The Creation of the Warsaw Ghetto. In 1940, during World War II, the Nazis established the Warsaw Ghetto in the heart of the Polish capital. This was part of their plan to segregate and ultimately annihilate the Jewish population. Over 400,000 Jews were forced to live in a small, overcrowded area, facing starvation, disease, and brutal oppression. Chapter 2. Life in the Ghetto. Inside the Warsaw Ghetto, life was marked by extreme hardship. Food and medical supplies were scarce, and the inhabitants lived in squalid conditions. The Nazi occupiers subjected the Jews to constant harassment, deportations, and executions. Chapter 3. The Underground Resistance. Despite the dire circumstances, some Jewish residents of the Warsaw Ghetto began organizing underground resistance movements. These groups, including the Jewish Combat Organization, ZOB, and the Jewish Military Union, ZZW, sought to resist Nazi oppression and defend their community. Chapter 4. Planning and Preparation. As the situation worsened, the leaders of the resistance movements recognized the need for a coordinated effort to oppose the Nazis. They began to stockpile weapons and formulate plans for an uprising. Morale in the ghetto was low, but hope for resistance burned brightly. Chapter 5. The uprising begins. On April 19, 1943, the Nazis launched a massive operation to liquidate the Warsaw Ghetto, intending to deport the remaining Jews to death camps. In response, the Jewish resistance fighters, armed with a small cache of weapons, launched a surprise attack on the Nazis. The Warsaw Ghetto Uprising had begun. Chapter 6. Heroic Resistance. The poorly equipped Jewish fighters faced heavily armed Nazi forces, including tanks and artillery. Despite the odds, they fought tenaciously and inflicted casualties on the enemy. The resistance fighters used a network of tunnels and bunkers to launch ambushes and evade capture. Chapter 7. The world takes notice. News of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising began to filter out to the world. It inspired Jews and anti-Nazi sympathizers worldwide and served as a symbol of Jewish resistance against the Holocaust. However, help from the outside was limited, as the ghetto fighters were isolated and lacked significant support. Chapter 8. The ghetto reduced to rubble. The Nazis responded to the uprising with overwhelming force. They systematically destroyed the ghetto block by block using artillery, incendiary devices, and brute force. The resistance fighters, outnumbered and outgunned, fought valiantly but were slowly pushed back. Chapter 9. The End of the Uprising. After weeks of intense combat, the remaining resistance fighters were trapped and facing certain defeat. Many chose to take their own lives rather than be captured by the Nazis. On May 16, 1943, the Nazis declared the Warsaw Ghetto free of Jews. Chapter 10. Legacy and Remembrance. The Warsaw Ghetto Uprising stands as a symbol of Jewish resistance and courage during one of the darkest periods in human history. While the uprising ultimately failed in its immediate objective of saving lives, it left an indelible mark on the Holocaust narrative. Survivors and the world would never forget the heroism of those who fought in the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. The Warsaw Ghetto Uprising remains a testament to the unbreakable spirit of those who refused to surrender in the face of overwhelming evil, and it serves as a reminder of the horrors of the Holocaust and the importance of remembrance and vigilance against hatred and oppression.